Welcome back to another video. I want to explain today something to you that's a solution to a problem you probably never had. So imagine you have a grid patch, and inside the grid you have multiple knobs and parameters, and all these knobs can have, of course, different values. But you can also have a big number of possible combination of all these values. And at some point you maybe want to have just one remote control on your device to control or to be able to cycle through all different combination of all these values. So I came up with a solution for this, and I want to show you how I tackled this problem. So let's go into Bitwig and check it out. So here we are in Bitwig Studio, and it's a completely empty grid. And what we need now is a value module and maybe 3 of them. And you can dial in different values, right? So nothing special. And this is now a combination of values. So you have 31, 22, and 24. And yeah, this is a combination, and you can create multiple combinations. So this is a different combination, this is a combination of values, and so on. And what we want to do now is we want to have one knob, like this one. And when we go from 0 to 100%, we want to cycle through all combination of these 3 modules. So how do we do this? So my solution to this was to use actually a Chebychev. And maybe I'll also use here an oscilloscope. Maybe go in here. And when we cycle here from 0 to 100%, you can see basically go through all the, from 0 to -1 to +1. So maybe we start with 2, and we also need an converter here to B to uni, because we want to start at 0 and go up to 1, and that's it. We don't want to cycle actually through -1. So we want to completely stay in the positive range here. So I'm going with the B to uni converter here, and I select 2. So 2 means basically we have 1-to-1 conversion. So we start at 0 and go to +1. Now we need an modulator out, and we can modulate the first value with this. Start at 0. So this is a 1-to-1 conversion basically. So we start at 1 at 0 and go to 1, and then we have just modulated here this module entirely. So the second one, we need to basically to create multiple combinations, we have to modulate these in different speeds, so to speak. So when this is at 0, this should go up to 1, then all the range modulated, then this go up to 2, all the range modulated, and so on. When you basically done with the second one, you have to also bring in the third one. So if you want to count all the combinations, possible combinations here, basically you have to go 100 times 100 times 100, and then you have all calculated all possible combinations. But we don't do that. I just show you how it works. So now we have modulated here the first one. Now we modulate the second one. So we clone this, go in here and modulate the second one. And now here we dial in a different parameter, 6, which is the 6th harmonic, and you can see also here on the graph, now we do multiple iterations on the modulation. So you can see, so the first one is basically modulated just from 0 to 1, and this goes multiple iterations here from 0 to 1. And this way you can create, combinations. So maybe you can also go up here to 8. 9, 10. Okay, 10. So we start at 0. So this is also possible. And for the third one, just clone this again. Go in here, go to 16. or maybe go to 20 or 21, 22. So I basically go in here 20 times, I think 22 times the whole cycle, and this one goes only 10 times the cycle, and this is only 1 time the cycle. Okay, so why do we need this, right? So this is something abstract, so maybe we should replace this here with a synth. So maybe I go for a sine oscillator, ADSR, and then out. Okay. So maybe we dedicate the first one here for the skew. This one is default, and this one is the timing of the ADSR. Maybe replace this here with the AD. That's enough. And now when we cycle through just one parameter here, we have different sounds and combinations of fold, skew, and AD settings. Or we can completely delete here this one, just leave the static and use a second sine oscillator here. Go in here, maybe use this one for the phase modulation. Or maybe we create more of these, just for the fun. So we go in here. So we have more combinations, right? So 26. $30. So it sounds like it's random, but it's not. It's probabilistic, because every time you switch to the same position here with this knob, maybe to 50, it's always the same sound, or the same combination of values of these knobs here we just modulated. So go back to 20. Sounds like this. 50 sounds like this. 70 sounds like this. So now we can use a macro here, just modulate this, or even use a remote control. Modulate this value. And just modulate a lot of different knobs inside the grid without having every time the same, or having different combinations happening while cycling through this this range here. So it's kind of random, but it's not random, it's probabilistic random. You can also connect these here in serial, I think. So we go for Chebychev, something like this. Use a modulator out. Use Chebychev again. And just go from this one, this Chebychev, into this one. So we have harmonics from the harmonics, right? So this is also possible. So maybe go to 2. Oh, we have also used, I see. Yeah, so I have to use the conversion here, which is a bit annoying, but we have to do it. And we use also 2 here. So we have to do these kind of things. This into this, into this, 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 this. And now can modulate all kinds of parameters. And every time when you reach the same position with this knob, you get the same sound or the same combination of values. So the only downside to this is basically, I think this is pretty heavy on the CPU to make this, because these are audio effects and I think they are oversampled a lot. So the more you add these, the more CPU you need. But also at the same time, you get a lot more out of simple patches or sound patches like this here, where you can create combination of values you probably never dialed in, but you can just scan through all the possibilities just with one knob. So it's interesting. You can discover new sounds. And then also you can save the patch in this position with this knob, and this is saved with the preset itself. So every time we recall the preset, it sounds exactly like the same. So it's not like when you use dice modules or random modulators, where every time I recall the preset, yet the values are reset basically. So this is every time the same. You recall the preset. Let's just play around with this. Maybe also use this for the reverb settings. At some point, you hear the values basically stepping or quantizing because of the resolution, right? You basically multiply all the possible values here with every step. So at the end here, you can see it becomes a lot more digitalized. But what you also get is, if you just use a few modules, you can morph between the states. It's not like you switch between every state in a quantized manner. It's more like you slowly fade between all the states. So it's kind of smooth. So you can see here, when we turn the knob and go to the different states, you morph basically, or you transition through the states. And it can also be interesting just to modulators, right? So use a random. Just this one. Just a touch, right? Can see it's already moving pretty fast here at the end, because we multiply every time the harmonics. very used to polyphonic mode here. Let's see how this works. So now we have this basically for every voice separately. Okay, so this is basically a small tip or idea how you can approach these kind of things. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have some questions, of course, then please leave it in the comments below. I try to answer them. And subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Patreon, and I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and bye.